be explaining types of Alterhumanity, such as Therians, Fictionkins, and then I'm also going to be including furries, basically the more popular labels, so people are more understanding. What is a Therian? A Therian is someone who identifies with an animal or animals on a non-physical level. However, for some people, it can be physical. Sometimes, yes, that is a sign of mental illness, or sometimes it's just a higher level of therianthropy. But if you do notice someone or know someone who is a physical Therian, don't hate on them, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. And if it does associate with a mental illness, then they should, they deserve help and respect over hate, because you're not doing anything by hating except making people feel bad about themselves. Therians do stuff like quads, wearing gear, doing vocals, multiple other things like that. But it is not a necessity for you to have to do those things to be a real Therian. As multiple people have been confused about if they aren't a Therian, or even if they are. Most people, yes, the ones online are mostly canines and felines, so wolves, foxes, cats, stuff like that. However, there are Therians of all types of creatures. For me, I am a feline, which is a serval cat, but there's also opossums, birds, multiple types of creatures. Some people even identify with extinct animals, including dinosaurs, and it doesn't make them any less real, and it doesn't make them any less of a Therian. Like I said, it is not required to physically do any quads or anything to be a Therian, since a Therian is on the inside. However, most people prefer to do stuff that associates with their therianthropy, so that they feel safer or feel like they are more themselves, rather than feeling like they're stuck in the human social norms. What are quads? Quads are a sport where you practice running, jumping, walking, like most animals do, on all fours. Not every Therian does that, especially not if you're a bird Therian, or if you're other kinds of Therians. And there are different kinds of quadrobics, each animal walks differently. Opossums walk more stretched out, otters are more jumpy, wolves are more stiff, but it is different for everyone. Things some Therians do to feel more connected as to what they are is collecting bones safely. Things that Therians do to feel more like themselves are collecting bones safely, doing nature boxes where you collect sticks and rocks and stuff and make them look pretty. We paint stuff, we make tails, masks, paws, stuff like that. Nature-themed crafts. Sometimes we do quads, vocals, practice, makeup, or appearance changing things, kind of to help us feel closer to the animal we identify with. Same with, what is a fictionkin? A fictionkin is someone who identifies with a fictional creature on a non-physical level. I still personally don't know very much about it, or how it really works, because to me it's a little bit confusing. But no hate to any fictionkins, you guys are pretty cool. Otherkins are someone who is like a Therian, but they identify with mythical creatures such as unicorns, dragons, things like that. Some people even go as far to like Loch Ness monsters, sirens, mermaids, stuff like that. Another paw is someone who voluntarily engages in mask wearing, tail wearing, quads, like everything that lots of Therians do to express themselves, but it's a hobby rather than an identity. So like quads, wearing gear, vocals, stuff like that, just that they do it as a hobby rather than who they are inside. And furry is not the same as a Therian. Furries are people who are interested in anthropomorphic creatures such as things like Zootopia, My Little Pony, things like that. Not all furries are very visible. Most people think furries have to have fursuits, stuff like this. No. Furries are mostly just interested in anthropomorphic creatures rather than a Therian who feels like they're an animal. Furries do not think they are animals. I promise you that. All the things I have listed are part of the same community, and we try to accept each other as much as possible. Something that does go on in our community that most of us have been trying to change are the non-Therian or non-Alterhuman people trying to explain what Alterhumanity is when they do not connect with it at all. It spreads false information, including the fact that people are doing that purposefully wrong so that we get hated more. Like, a common misconception is that Therians use glitter boxes, growl at people, bite people, do like animals romantically. What the community does is we do not accept that kind of stuff, and the people who do the growling and attacking is usually the people trying to make fun of us. Yes, Therians do sometimes do things like vocals. Sometimes they do things, like I said, like quads, vocals, gear wearing, but we will not physically attack another human if it's not self-defense like a normal person would. We don't growl at people. We might do some growling for vocals. Personally, not me. I don't feel like vocals connect to my therianthropy properly, but we do not support zoophilia. We do not support people using litter boxes. We do not support people, Therians, anyone attacking each other. Is just plain rude. As a Therian, another thing that's going on in our community that is like misogyny is a lot of people who are fake Therians, non-Therians, non-Alterhumans, they'll be spreading those kinds of lies. They'll be using what we are as an insult. There is a lot of subtle racism, stuff like that. Yes, most Therians online that are popular are white. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be popular because they're white. And I'm white like frick, and the main thing with that is we can't control who gets popular or what based on our skin color, but the thing that happens is Black, Mexican, Asian, all different kinds of races of Therians rarely get noticed, which is actually kind of bad for our community because we're not as, like, a lot of the bad, I can't come up with a better word, but bad Therians are racist. And as someone who is part of this community, I feel like we should not support that kind of stuff because it's just cruel. And as a community, we should be trying to be open and accepting. Community, we should be respectful to one another. We should try to make each other feel like we belong. But going out of the serious stuff back into just explaining some stuff so that maybe we can open up the eyes of people who are more iffy with the idea of therianthropy. Because, yeah, it is weird. We should expect, like, to get bullied. It is not okay that people who are different are being bullied, whether they're queer, alterhuman, just have some form of like mental illness like autism, ADHD, stuff like that. No one deserves to be treated this way, but it's gonna come off kind of weird, and we should kind of have the idea that we might end up getting bullied because it is out of the ordinary. Like Pixel Drink has said, it is out of the ordinary. We are running around on all fours, wearing tails and masks, stuff like that, which isn't an expectation for your daily life. Another thing is mask and tail does not equal Therian. Multiple other people will wear masks and tails. Like masks that look like Therian masks that are animalistic do end up looking like they're meant for Therians, but they could be for furries, they could be for other paw, they could be for who knows, for crying out loud. You could just be doing a cosplay, or you could literally just think they're cool. Like, isn't it like, it sounds kind of cool to wear this weird mask that you made on your own. Like, going back into serious stuff, people should not be bullying the kids online that are Therians, or even the adults that are Therians. Adult Therians are not as common, but they are for sure there. Soda Tap is legally an adult. Therian territory is legally an adult. There are multiple Therians who are legally adult. Stinky Cat, we love them. Dude, it's like, we should not be bullying anyone based on their identity. Especially the adults that are online making fun of Therians, or just weird kids in general, should not be doing it. Like, what? Like, kids bullying kids is already really, really bad. When it's adults, the people that most kids should be able to look up to, are telling the kids that what they're doing is wrong, what they're doing is cruel, what they're doing is just weird. It's even worse, because you are an adult. You don't have to support, like, this is for anyone of any age, whether you're 9 years old, whether you're a full-grown adult, whether you're a woman, whether you're a guy, whether you're trans, whether you're non-binary, whatever. You should not be bullying people based on who they are. It's not okay. And yeah, it is weird, but being a Therian shouldn't always immediately equal being bullied. If you guys do have any questions, like, about anything I said, if you have any opinions you want to share, like, they don't even have to be necessarily good. You can be asking, hey, Mr. Silly Paws, what the hell is a fiction kid? I'll be like, I don't know, let me research it so that I can add more of it into the video, or make a new one, or do more stuff like that. You do not have to support therianthropy or any altered humans. However, you should still respect them. They are people too. And aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you made it to the end, like, subscribe. I don't want to be the one who begs for subscribers, but I need it. I really need you guys to subscribe so I can get monetized, and I need you guys to actually watch my videos, because only 0.9% of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed. It's kind of crazy, but if you'd be willing to subscribe, I'd appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys. Bye!